Welcome to this week's Recruiting Corner, Under Armour All-American Game Edition. I'm Julie Baudouin, and joining me today via Skype is NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune's Amos Morale III, who's in Orlando watching the practices and catching up with a few players. Amos, how's Orlando treating you?
It was very good. It rained today, so my opinion of Orlando has changed greatly. But if it's sunny tomorrow, it'll change again.
All right, well, let's get straight to business. We don't have a lot of time. Which prospect is putting on the biggest show out there?
That would easily have to be Warren Easton receiver Tyron Johnson. Yesterday, he turned a lot of heads with the catches he was making, and he's really been doing something that we've all seen him do all season, Julie, and that's get open, catch balls, and make plays. And it doesn't really seem to matter which DB they've put on him in practice. He's caught on everybody. He's even had a few catches today on a LSU commitment, Kevin Tolliver, who's also been having a really great practice week. As you see in this photo, there's him breaking up a pass intended for DeMarcus Lodge, who's no slouch when it comes to wide receiving targets. So obviously, but I got to say, Tyron Johnson has been putting on a great show this week.
And like you mentioned, he's been doing that all season, except the only difference at this practice is he's doing it against other five-star prospects. Who else is drawing a lot of attention out there? I know you just mentioned Kevin Tolliver.
All right, it's one guy. LSU has an offer out to him, but not too sure yet. Need to check with him tomorrow as far as how much his interest is in the Tigers. But it's defensive end Byron Cowart. Byron has turned a lot of heads this week. Let's say Tyron has turned a lot of heads on the offensive side of the ball. Byron's turned the heads on the defensive side. He's so quick. A lot of these offensive linemen have had a lot of trouble keeping him out of the backfield when they run 11-on-11 drills or any kind of play for the running backs or pass plays. He's really quick. But also one thing you've noticed is you always see him pumping up his teammates, and it's an all-star game. So, you kind of expect these guys to not want to practice hard. But Byron's over here telling them we need to turn up the intensity. He's yelling today. Anytime one of his teammates makes a great play, he runs up to him and really, pumps him up afterwards. His team, the team highlight practices have been very intense because of the energy he's bringing, and he keeps talking about how you can hear him yelling to his teammates, "We got to have this motor. We got to have this motor." So he's been somebody that's really turned a lot of heads and impressed a lot of people, and has gotten a lot of attention because of the intangibles you're seeing from him.
And what do you say is the biggest story out there so far?
I got to say, the way the LSU commitments have performed has obviously got to be one of the bigger stories. And also, the LSU targets in general. We talked about Tyron being easily one of the top performers at the practices so far through the first 2 days. But, Kevin Tolliver's playing well. He's an LSU commitment. And an LSU commitment they have at offensive lineman, that's Maea Teuhema. He's the younger brother of LSU's defensive end, Sione Teuhema. Maea Teuhema has pretty much just shut down anyone they've put him up against. He's really easy to notice because he's a very large man. But when he's up against some of these really good defensive linemen, like the defensive line play here has been very impressive, and he's really much taken on anybody they've put up against him. And you could tell, he's really good. He's pretty much been a wall, and it's been very hard for these defensive linemen to get him, even in the one-on-one drills. He's been very good. He had to sit out the second half of practice today. Had a little bit of an ankle injury, but he looked fine. He walked off. He wasn't icing it or it didn't look taped up or anything. But he's been very impressive today, and just in general. So a lot of the guys LSU's looking at, this has got to be something that LSU fans are going to be very happy. The guys that LSU's got coming, the guys that LSU's got that they're looking at and hoping to get coming are all playing really well.
Well, that's good news, and those LSU fans can watch the game on Friday. I believe it's on ESPN2, is that right?
I believe you are correct.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for joining me, Amos, and be sure to check out all of the great recruiting content at NOLA.com/recruiting. And on Friday, we'll give a recruiting corner specifically for the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. I'm Julie Baudouin, and until the next time, thanks for watching.